Hello everyone and welcome to the Bodhi Academy. My name is Prachi Naik and this is our series of one-shot videos. In today's video, I'll be covering 11th biology, third chapter, that is plant kingdom. Okay, so in today's video, I'll be covering the topics introduction to system of classification, algae and bryophytes. The next three groups will be studying in the next chapter, in the next video. Okay, so the classification system which was given by R.H. Whittaker, that is five kingdom classification system. Okay, in this system R.H. Whittaker, he classified all the living organisms into five kingdoms here. Okay, and these kingdoms were kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Okay, so in this chapter we'll be studying kingdom Plantae in detail. Okay, so kingdom Plantae, it is commonly called as plant kingdom. Okay, now in the earlier classification which was given by Linus, okay, which was two kingdom classification system, all the organisms were divided into two categories, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Okay, here the basis of classification here was if there was cell wall in the organism or not. So based on this, he had placed all the organisms which had a cell wall in kingdom Plantae. Okay, but they differed in the other characters, like having a the cell wall composition, nutrition. Okay, and whether they were prokaryotic or eukaryotic, so they differed in these aspects. Okay, so now for example, cyanobacteria, they were earlier called as blue-green algae. Okay, so they were put in, as they had they were put in Plantae group. Okay, but later they were not considered as true algae. Okay, so now they are put in which group? Now they are put in kingdom Monera. Okay, so in this chapter we'll be learning about algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, then first we'll see the system of classification. Okay, so in the earlier classification systems, okay, the first earlier classification system was artificial classification system. Okay, so in this classification system, it was based on the morphological characters, like the color of the leaves, color of the plant, or the shape of the leaves, pattern of leaves, or their habitat. Okay, the characters which we can see. Okay, so it was based on these characters, but these characters, they were there were some what were the advantages in this system was that all the plants which had similar morphological characters were put in one category. Okay, but here the limitation was that equal weightage was given to the vegetative as well as the reproductive characters. Okay, so vegetative will cover up all the plant parts, that is which are to do with the like the root, stem, leaves. Okay, and reproductive parts will be the flower. Okay, so here it was given equal weightage. Okay, but the body structures of the vegetative body structures will be completely different, right, from the sexual characters or the reproductive characters. Okay, so the plants which are similar in morphology but their sexual characters, they will be completely different. Okay, so this is one disadvantage about that. Okay, so flowering example, if we take some flowering plants and if we take some non-flowering plants, okay, if their vegetative characters are similar, but what if their reproductive characters are different, so we cannot use this system as a authentic one. Okay, then we'll go to the next classification system, that is natural classification system. Okay, so it was given by Bentham and Hooker. Here he had taken both the characters into consideration, that is external and internal characters. Okay, So here it was based on the inside structure or the chemicals which are present in the plants. Okay, so embryological studies were done here, like from small embryo how the big plant is grown. Okay, so all this was considered here. So what is the advantage of this system was both characters were considered here. Okay, and the limitations here were closely related organisms can be different, okay, in important characters. Okay, example, pathogenic and non-pathogenic bacteria, for example. Okay, so pathogenic will be pathogenic meaning disease causing, okay, and non-pathogenic is which will not cause the disease. Okay, so pathogenic bacteria, so these are the disease causing ones. For example, E. coli. Okay, E. coli, it is a very poisonous bacteria, okay, and it can cause food poisoning. And lactobacillus, which is a good bacteria which is used for what, making curd and all. Okay, so it is not disease causing. So their structure is similar, okay, but their behavior is different. Okay, their structure is similar but their what it is, behavior is different. Therefore structure is same but functions can differ. So in some organisms the structure can be same but the functions might be different. Okay, so next came the phylogenetic system of classification. Okay, philo meaning tribe and genetic meaning the origin. So this is based on the evolutionary relationships between the organism. Okay, so this system of classification, it is based on the evolutionary relationships, meaning from where the organisms have been originated or like started, okay, like made. Okay, so here if there are like more similarities among the organism, okay, so they will be more closely related. Okay, for example, if I compare you with your brother or sister, okay, so what will happen, there will be more characters similar between you all, right? But if I compare you with your what it is, second cousins or first cousins, there will be less characters which will be similar to them, right? And then if I compare you with your friends, then so it is like completely different characters will be there. Okay, so like this advantages of this system was to, it tells us about evolutionary history of organisms, meaning how they are evolved, like how they were earlier and how they are evolved at this time. Okay, then it works on the information that we get from all this chemotaxonomy, cytotaxonomy and numerical taxonomy. Okay, so first is the these are the sources which help us in classification. Okay, so numerical taxonomy, so it is something with numerical meaning numbers, right? So it is something to deal with the numbers. Okay, so it is a mathematical method, numbers meaning it will be a mathematical method, right? So here all the observable characters of the organism were given a number. Okay, they were given, they were assigned a number here, and like the habitat, then the body structure, then nutrition, these characters, like each of the characters were given a what it is, they were assigned a number. Okay, then now all the members are fed in them. Now after getting the numbers, all this information, okay, it is fed in a system, in a computer system. Okay, and then they are analyzed. Okay, it is a mathematical method, and then we analyze the entire data, like how they are, it will give us like how many organisms are like similar. Okay, so we'll remove, there are system from where we can remove the sequences. Okay, so we'll remove that, and if we compare our DNA with some other organism, okay, we'll see how many similarities are there between us. Okay, then example, if we have 4 different organisms, okay, like humans, then sea animal, hydra, dog. Okay, if we compare their observable characters, okay, what will happen, similarities. Okay, so sea animal and hydra, they will have like more common characters, right? Like marine habitats, then invertebrates, then they will have also radial symmetry, so they will have some characters in common. Okay, then cytotaxonomy. So as the name suggests, cytotaxonomy, it is something to deal with the what, cell, right? So it is based on here, it will be based on the, here we will compare the chromosome number, then the chromosome structure and chromosome behavior of the organisms. Okay. For example, if we take chromosomes of humans, how many chromosomes do humans have? We have 46 chromosomes, right? And if we take chromosomes of the monkeys, okay, so how many chromosomes do monkeys have? 42 chromosomes. So these are like more similar, right? So algae will have 20 chromosomes, dogs will have 78 chromosomes, okay. So this information will help us in classification. Okay, then we come to chemotaxonomy. Chemo meaning what? Chemicals, right? So here chemicals which are present in the plants, okay, based on that we classify. Okay, all living organisms, they have many chemicals in them, right? Specifically plants, they have many oils in them which are called as essential oils. Okay, and different plants will have different essential oils, and their smell will also be differing. Smells and chemical constituents, this will be differing. Okay, so here the classification is based on chemical composition of the plants. Okay, so cytotaxonomy, it can, sorry, chemotaxonomy, it can also help us in classification. Okay, then so now this phylogenetic system, it is the best way to classify plants, okay, based on their evolutionary relationships. Okay, now on the basis of subclassification of plantae, now we'll see the basis of subclassification of plantae. Okay, now there are so many varieties of plants, so many different plants, right? So how so many plants, like how they are classified, based on what? So we can take that differentiation of their differentiation of plant body, meaning some plants will be thalloid, some plants will be like, they will have a multicellular structure. Okay, they will be filamentous, they will have root, stem, leaves. Okay, so based on that, now also if they have the ability to bear seeds, now in that also, if they are having seeds, if the seeds are naked or they are enclosed in a fruit, okay, that also we need to consider. Okay, then the types of seeds, yeah. Okay, the types of seeds, whether they are naked or whether they are enclosed, and the ability to produce seeds, that is, sorry, that is whether they can produce seeds or they cannot. There are some organisms which cannot, there are some plants which cannot produce seeds. Okay, so they reproduce from some other methods. Okay, so like that. Now if we take kingdom plantae, okay, if we take kingdom plantae, if we take kingdom plantae, they are classified into here two categories. Okay, so they are classified into first based on their structure, whether they are thalloid, okay, or sorry, whether they are meaning if they are, if their body is differentiated, and whether there is differentiated, is not differentiated, we'll take that first, and if their body is differentiated. Okay, now based on this, there will be thallophyta, wherein the bodies will be only till thallus, meaning it will have only some green structure. Okay, it is not differentiated into root, leaves and stem. Okay, then again the ones which are like the plant body is differentiated, they will be divided into two. Okay, this will be without vascular system, and the other one will be with vascular system. This will be bryophytes. This will be bryophytes. Okay, and then the ones with vascular system will be pteridophytes. Pteridophytes. Okay, then after this, the with vascular system will be again divided into two. I'll show that here. Okay, they will be again divided into two. So there will be the plants with which do not produce. Okay, so here will not give it the name. Okay, so here will not give it the name, vascular system only. So now the plants which are with vascular system, the plants which produce seeds, which do not produce seeds, and the ones which produce seeds. Okay, so the ones which do not produce seeds, here will come Pteridophytes, and again here which produce seeds, under them also there will be two categories. Okay, so here the ones which produce seeds, they will be gymnosperms, meaning the ones which have naked seeds, meaning the seeds will be not enclosed in anything. Okay, so the seeds will be like open, naked seeds. And the ones angiosperms, meaning here their seeds will be enclosed in a fruit. Okay, so enclosed seeds or the covered seeds. Okay, or covered seeds. Okay, then after that again angiosperms are divided into dicots and monocots. Okay, so dicots meaning here they will have two cotyledons. Okay, and monocots will have only one cotyledon. Okay, so clear. So in kingdom Plantae, it is divided into two types, that is whether their body is differentiated or not. Okay, and their body is differentiated. So when their body is not differentiated, they come in here. The example is Pteridophyta. Okay, then when their body is differentiated, here what will come? Root, stem, leaves. When their body is differentiated into, plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Okay, then under differentiation again we have divided into two. The plants with vascular system, without vascular system, that is Bryophyta, and the plants with vascular system. Now this vascular system again it is divided into plants which do not produce seeds, example is Pteridophyta, and the plants which produce seeds. Now under this, the plants which produce seeds, they are again divided into gymnosperms and angiosperms. So gymnosperms, they will produce naked seeds, meaning their seeds will not be enclosed in anything. Okay, and angiosperms, here their seeds will be covered in a fruit. Under angiosperms, okay, again there is division. Again they are divided into two, that is dicots and monocots. So dicots will have two cotyledons and monocots will have one cotyledon. Okay, then now first we'll see Thallophyta group. Thallophyta meaning their body is not differentiated here. Okay, their body is not differentiated. They prefer aquatic habitats. So mostly they are present in water. Okay, then there are green algae. Okay, mostly there are green algae, and there can be, mostly there are green algae. Okay, and here their reproductive structures will be hidden, meaning they will be inside like something. Here in if we see in angiosperms, that is the advanced developed plants. Okay, we can say angiosperms, flowering plants. Here their reproductive structures where they will be in the flower, right? But in algae, in Thallophyta group, their reproductive structures are hidden. Okay, so that's why they are called as what? They are called as cryptogams. They are called as cryptogams. Crypto meaning hidden, and game meaning marriage. Okay, so now what is here to do with marriage? So here the hidden structures, the hidden structure, the reproductive structures will be hidden, but there will be fusion of these structures. Okay, male and female gametes. Okay, then now first is our algae. Okay, the first group in plants, it is our algae, which are the primitive organisms. Okay, so these are Thallophytes, Pteridophytes meaning they will be green, their body is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Okay, they are autotrophic. Autotrophic meaning they have chlorophyll, right? So they can perform photosynthesis and they can produce their own food. They can be unicellular, they can be multicellular. Okay, and they prefer mostly aquatic habitats. So what I have said that they can be unicellular, okay, meaning only with one cell, or they can be multicellular, okay, like yeah, filamentous, multicellular filamentous. Then they can be colonial also, making colonies, like, okay. So all this will come in this. Yeah, so everything will come in this. Okay, so after this they prefer the habitat. If we talk about the habitat, they prefer moist conditions. They prefer aquatic habitat, right? So they can also grow in soil which has like little bit of water, also moist soil. Okay, example here is volvox. Volvox is colonial. Volvox is, if you see here, this is example of volvox. Okay, it is colonial. See, you can see the colonies which are made here. Okay, and together they form the plant. Okay, then chlamydomonas, which is unicellular, ulothryx, which is filamentous. Ulothryx and spirogyra are filamentous. Okay, and here why it is filament, why the name was given as spirogyra is because their chloroplast is spiral like this. So that is why it is called as what? Spirogyra. That is why it is called as spirogyra. Okay, then if we see their cell wall, okay, the outer wall is made up of pectin and the inner cell wall is made up of what? Cellulose. Okay, after this other examples will be alva. Okay, it is also called as sea lettuce because it appears like a lettuce. Okay, and vegetable lettuce. Okay, and cladophora, which is filamentous. Okay, these are all other examples. Okay, now if we see asexual reproduction in algae, then it is here what they do is they do fragmentation. Meaning what happens in fragmentation is each the organism, it breaks into fragments. Okay, and each fragment grows into a new individual. Okay, new algae, you can say. Okay, then multiple fission which happens. So what it is, fragmentation happens in spirogyra. Okay, and then we come to multiple fission. So multiple fission meaning here what will happen, there will be the cells will divide together. Okay, all the cells, they will be like this. So they will divide together, all the cells will divide together here, and they will have a cyst like. Okay, so all the cells will divide rapidly inside that. And there will be repeated division of the nucleus here. The nucleus will divide and the cells will also divide, and there will be rapid division here, which is called as multiple meaning many, right? So here the division will be like together. Okay, then asexually zoospores are also there here. So zoospores are the motile spores which can move from one place to another. Okay, and here the reproductive part will be zoosporangium. Okay, zoosporangium. So in the zoosporangium, it is like the fruiting body which we had seen in fungi. Okay, if you remember, so zoosporangium is the fruiting body here, meaning here inside this the spores will be produced. Okay, and then what will happen after that, the spores will germinate. Okay, and they will form what? They will form a zygote. Okay, and then what will happen, this okay, so they will get matured. Okay, not formal, they will get mature, they will become, after germinating they will become mature algae. Okay, and then again a new zoosporangium will form. So this will be the cycle leg. Okay, after that we come to sexual reproduction. After this we come to, okay, sorry, after that we come to sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction takes place through three things. Okay, isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. Okay, so here so in sexual reproduction what will happen here, there will be gametes will be produced. Okay, and here there will be fusion of the gametes, two gametes. Okay, isogamous is when both gametes are similar in size, meaning isogamous is when, for example, if these are our gametes, so both the gametes will be similar in size. Okay, and anisogamous, iso meaning same, so both the gametes will be similar in size. Example here are Ulothrix and Spirogyra. So now when I had told you all about fragmentation, that is a sexual reproduction. So and now also I'm saying that Spirogyra can also reproduce sexually. So there can be many species. Okay, many species of Spirogyra, which, and each species will differ. Okay, it will have different modes of reproduction. Okay, so isogamous and anisogamous. So here one gamete will be smaller and the other one will be larger. And oogamous, here what will happen? One gamete will be small and what it is, motile, and the other gamete will be large and non-motile. Okay, so this is small motile gamete. It is basically the male gamete, and this is the female gamete. Okay, so here what will happen is the male gamete, it will swim and go to the female gamete, and then there will be fusion and the new mature algae will be produced here. Okay, example here is volvox. Okay, and the gametes which are dissimilar in size, that is anisogamous, their example was Chlamydomonas. Okay, then now here the male gamete is called as what? Antherozoids. The male gamete is called as antherozoids. So the in sexual reproduction, the male gamete is called as what? Antherozoids. Antherozoids. So here the male gamete is called as antherozoid, and the female gamete here will be the egg. Okay, here then what will happen? Both of them will fuse. After fusion, what will happen? They will form a zygote. Okay, and then two spores will be produced, which will give rise to, they will germinate and give rise to a new organ. Okay, so we are done with this. Now what is see the importance of algae now. Okay, so they perform nearly half of Earth's carbon dioxide fixation. Okay, as algae are plants, right? So what they will do is they perform photosynthesis. So for photosynthesis, what do they require? They require carbon dioxide, right? So they will take in the carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere, and they will perform photosynthesis, and basically they will this is how they will fix the carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere. Okay, they will increase dissolved oxygen in water. How they, when they do photosynthesis, they take in the carbon dioxide, okay, and they release oxygen. So that is how they will increase the dissolved oxygen in water, as they are aquatic plants. Okay, then they will form the base of aquatic food chains, meaning in the water, as they are aquatic, in the water some organisms will eat them. Okay, they will eat them, and then again those organisms will be eaten by some other organisms, so like that they will form the aquatic food chain. Okay, now there are some marine algae. There is some marine algae. It is used as a source of food. Okay, then some algae, they are rich in protein. Some algae, it is rich in protein. Okay, and for example chlorella and example chlorella and spirulina, these are rich in protein, and we get their tablets, okay, which are a good source of protein. So it is used by space travelers. How it is used by space travelers is, in the space they cannot take like everything over there, right, and they will get spoiled also after some time. Okay, so they can just take these tablets and take the tablet, and they are like whatever amount of protein they need, it will be good for them. Okay, then algae from brown algae, it is used as hydrocolloid, meaning it is a substance which can like easily bind with something and is used to make like gel and all. Okay, like yeah, gel and all. So yeah, then carrageen from red algae is also used commercially. Then agar from, this is a very important point. Okay, agar from Gelidium and Gracilaria, which are the red algae, that is they come in Rhodophytes. Okay, it is used in microbiology for making ice creams and also jelly. So it is a important one. Okay, yeah, so we are done with this slide. Now these algae, they are classified into three groups. Okay, algae are classified into three groups based on some characters. Now what are these characters? This algae, they are not only green. Okay, they are of different colors. Okay, so they are in brown color and red color also. So based on their pigments, which pigment they have, they will get this color. Okay, so based on the photosynthetic pigment, the cell wall composition, how the cell wall is made up of, and the stored food, they are classified into three categories. Okay, so green algae, so it will have a green pigment, that is, we all know it is chlorophyll, so that is why it is called as Chlorophyceae. Then Pteridophytes, which is the brown algae, so it will have a pigment which gives it the brown color. Okay, this is called as Pteridophytes. And Rhodophyceae, it will have phycoerythrin, which gives it the red color. Okay, so we'll see all these three in detail now, one by one. So first is class Chlorophyceae. First is our class Chlorophyceae. Okay, now Chlorophyceae, it will contain green algae. Chlorophyceae, chloro meaning it will have chlorophyll. Okay, so it will be green algae. They are autotrophic, they have chlorophyll, they can perform photosynthesis and make food for them. They live in fresh habitats. Okay, here the example is Chlamydomonas, which is a unicellular organism. Then Volvox, which is a colonial organism, and Filamentous, which is Spirogyra and Ulothrix. Examples here are Spirogyra and Ulothrix. Okay, then their cell wall is two layered. Okay, their cell wall is two layered. Outer layer is made up of pectin, and the inner layer is made up of cellulose. Okay, then here the chloroplast is cup shaped, spiral shaped. Okay, and it is disc shape also. And here the chloroplast, it will have chlorophyll A, B. Okay, and the chloroplast will also have pyrenoids. Okay, then coming to their reproduction. Okay, so they reproduce asexually through fragmentation. Okay, this I have already explained you all. And spore formation, which is the zoospores. Okay, which are the motile spores. Then sexual reproduction will take place through isogamy, oogamy, and anisogamy. Okay, then we come to the next one, which is Phaeophyceae, brown algae. Okay, now they live in marine habitats. They can be branched or unbranched or filamentous. Sorry, they can be branched or filamentous. Okay, now here the examples are Laminaria, Dictyota, then Ectocarpus, Fucus. Okay, now the iodine content is more in this. So in the Dictyota, the iodine content is more, so that is why it is used for the diseases which are related to diseases which are related to diseases which are related to the thyroid. Okay, so next is the laminaria. Okay, next is the laminaria. Laminaria, it is used as a food in many Asian countries. Okay, and Dictyota also has high medicinal value. Okay, so it has like many chemicals which have high medicinal value, so it can be used like that. Okay, coming to its structure. Okay, its structure is like covered with algae. Okay, and also outer covering is of algae and inner one is of cellulose. Okay, now here also chloroplast will be of different shapes in different species of brown algae. Okay, then the chlorophyll present, the pigments which are present here are chlorophyll A, B and C, and also carotenoid xanthophylls, okay, and fucoxanthins, which will give it the red color. Okay, so here the significant body structure here is, it is differentiated into three things. Okay, frond, stipe and hold fast. So stipe, it will be holding the plant into the soil or wherever it is there, so it will hold the plant into the soil. Then stipe, through this there will be transport of the water, okay, to the frond part. Okay, and frond part will do the photosynthesis. It will do the photosynthesis. Okay, it is basically like a leaf. Okay, so it will do the photosynthesis. Okay, then so it is frond part is the leaf-like structure which will do photosynthesis. Okay, then here the food is stored as complex carbohydrates like laminarin and mannitol. Okay, then we come to reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place through fragmentation. Okay, and and also zoospores which are like biflagellated and motile. Then we come to sexual reproduction. Okay, here there will be isogamy and oogamy. So there will be union of gametes here in the, where it will take place, union of gametes either in the water or within the oogonium. Either in the water or in the oogonium. Now what is oogonium? It is the structure wherein the spores or the eggs are produced. Okay, so basically that. And also the fusion can happen in the oogonium. So now here in Bryophyceae, brown algae, we see gametes which are pear shaped. Okay, and they are called as pyriform. Here the gametes are pear shaped and they are called as pyriform. Okay. Okay, after this we'll go to the next one, that is Rhodophyceae. Now Rhodophyceae, it is the red algae. Why, like how it becomes red is because of the pigment which is there, that is phycoerythrin pigment, and also with that they have chlorophyll A and D. Okay, these are marine, they prefer marine habitats. Okay, their cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay, here the food is stored as Floridian starch. Okay, so here you need not know the detailed structure of these like food and all. Okay, you should only know that it is made up of glucose polymers. Okay, Floridian starch. Then examples here are Polysiponia, Porphyra, Gracilaria. Okay, So Polysyphonia, they are marine habitats and they are like much branched. Okay, they have more branching. Porphyra, it is also called as cold water seaweed because it is found in cold water and it is also used as food. Okay, next is Gracilaria, which I had earlier mentioned that it is used to make agar. Okay, which is economically important. Okay, and it is used to make jellies, ice creams. Okay, then asexual reproduction is through pore formation, fragmentation. Okay, and sexual reproduction is through oogamy. Okay, it is oogamous. So you can see here red algae. First one is Porphyra and the second one is Polysyphonia. Okay, we have covered all these points. Okay, this is a comparison chart. Okay, wherein we have compared Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae. Okay, based on their major pigments, stored food, cell wall, number of flagella and where they are present and their habitat. Okay, then then next we come to Bryophytes. Okay, now earlier when we were studying about algae, okay, their body structure was how their body structure, their plant body was Thallophyta. Okay, it was mostly just the thallus, meaning the green structure, and it is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves, but here the body will be little more differentiated over here. Okay, again not like the root, stem and leaves, but root like, leaf like structure will be present over here. Okay, and here, so these are called as amphibians of the plant kingdom. Now why they are called as the amphibians of the plant kingdom is because they, as amphibians, prefer to live on water plus land. Okay, so here also they grow on land, but they need water for their sexual reproduction. Okay, then here specialized vascular tissues are absent. Okay, as when we had seen that chart of the kingdom plantae, so we had seen that in non-vascular plants there are these Bryophytes. Okay, so they are mostly found in moist hilly areas. Okay, and they are significant in preventing soil erosion. How they help in soil erosion is, soil erosion you will be knowing that it is when the soil, it goes with the water. Okay, but what these plants will do, they will hold the soil in such a way that it will not allow the soil to just go with the water. Okay, so this is how they prevent soil erosion. Then again, they are also cryptogams, meaning their reproductive structures will be hidden. Okay, here the examples are mosses, liverworts and hornworts. Okay, so if we see their structure, body differentiation is there, but there are no true roots, stem or leaves. Body differentiation is there, but no true roots, stems or leaves are present. Okay, here as I have told, we have root like, stem like and leaf like structures. Okay, then so now here on their lower epidermal layer. Okay, on their lower epidermal layer there will be some rhizoids. Okay, so these rhizoids, they are what? They are root like structures, but they are not roots. Okay, they are root like structures and they can be unicellular also, they can be multicellular also. Okay, now why they are there? They help in and encourage, meaning they will help the plant to like to be held in the soil. So they will like hold the soil and the plant will be anchored in the soil. Okay, then we see the reproduction. If we see the reproduction, if we see the reproduction, okay, so the reproduction is a sexual reproduction takes place through fragmentation and spore formation, okay. If we see sexual reproduction here, gametophyte is the main plant body. Now dominant phase is the main plant body. So what is dominant phase? Meaning the structure which will be long lived, okay. Now what I have told is the gametophyte is the main plant body and it is a dominant phase, long lived structure, okay. Now this gametophyte, okay, what is gametophyte? It is a structure which will provide the gametes. Gametophyte will produce gametes, okay. So now it will produce gametes, okay. Now male gametes, here it is there, okay. So male gametes will be called as what? And it will be called as antherozoids, okay. Male gametes will be called as antherozoids and they will be produced in the male sex organ, that is antheridium. So these are the gametes, okay, these are the gametes which will be produced in the antheridium, and the female gamete is the egg, okay, and this egg, it will be produced in the female sex organ which is the archegonium, and archegonium, it is a flask shaped structure, so it will be something like this, okay. So it is a flask shaped structure, so inside this there will be the egg, okay. And this antheridium, sorry, these antherozoids which are produced in the antheridium, they will come to it, okay, and there will be fusion of the gametes, okay. If we see like proper structures, okay, so what will happen? For example, if this is the female reproductive organ, yeah, female reproductive organ, okay. So here there will be inside, there will be the egg, okay. And if it is the, if here is the male reproductive organ, that is the antheridium, right, and here there will be the antherozoids. So these antherozoids, they will come here and fuse, okay, and then there will be formation of the, and then there will be formation of the zygote, okay. So now if we see their life cycle, if we see the life cycle of bryophytes, okay, so first there will be male gametes and the female gametes, right, gametophyte from the, which is the main plant body. So gametophyte, it is the main plant body here, and yeah, main plant body. So then there will be antheridia and archegonia, male and female sex organs, male, and this is the male one, this is the female one, sex organs, okay. What will happen here? See, they are haploid, mitosis and meiosis. Through mitosis and meiosis it is formed, okay. So later on you will have a separate chapter for this. So for now you'll just remember that they are haploid, they are N, that is they are haploid, and if they are diploid there will be 2 N. So diploid is 2 N, so they are haploid. The reproductive structures are haploid here, and diploid will be 2 N, so N meaning haploid. Then antheridia will produce antherozoids, which are the gametes. Archegonia will produce egg, okay, both of them will fuse. After fusion they will produce a zygote. Now N and N will make 2N, which is, now it is diploid. Earlier it was haploid, now it is diploid, okay. Zygote will be diploid, okay. After that the zygote, it will form a embryo through mitosis, and a sporophyte will be formed here, sporophyte, okay. Now gametophyte was producing gametes, okay. Now the sporophyte will produce what? It will produce spores. Sporophyte will produce spores, okay. This is the sporophytic generation, and that was the gametophytic generation. So it will produce spores, okay. After that okay, there will be fusion, they will produce spores. Then again what will happen? Spores will germinate, and the new algae, sorry, new organism will be formed. Okay, new organism will be formed. Okay, this I'll explain you all later. Okay, when we'll go to the next slide, I'll explain you this. Okay, so this was the life cycle of bryophytes. Okay, now bryophytes are classified into two categories, that is liverworts and mosses. So we'll see each of the category in detail. Okay, now if we see the characters of liverworts, okay, so their plant body is thalloid. Okay, sorry, yeah, their plant body is thalloid. The plant body is thalloid, meaning they have root-like, stem-like structures, but it do not have true leaf, stem, and roots. Okay, they prefer moist and shady places, moist but shady places. Then example here are Markensia, Rixia, and Porella. Okay, if we see their asexual mode of reproduction, okay, so here there will be gamete formation. Gamete, it is the propagative structure in thallostructure. Okay, see here, if we see here, these are the gamma cups. Okay, these are what will happen, they will detach from the plant body and then they will grow into a new plant. Okay, so gamete formation is there in asexual reproduction, and also fragmentation will be there. Okay, then if we come to sexual reproduction, there will be fusion of the male and the female gametes. Okay, male and the female gametes. Now this male and female gametes, they can either be present on the same thalli, meaning if you see this over, either they will be present at the same thalli, okay, or they will be separate. So on this you can see archigoniophore. So here is the female sex organ and here is the male sex organ, that is N3DO4. Okay, that is N3DO4. Okay, so male gametophyte is carried to the female gametophyte here. So male gametophyte, it will be carried to the female gametophyte. Okay, and then there will be fusion of both the gametes, and after fusion what will happen, a zygote will be produced, and this will happen where, in the female gametophyte. Okay, and then it will grow and produce what, sporophyte. It will produce what, sporophyte, and sporophyte will produce what, it will produce the what it is, spores. Okay, and here sporophyte, it is short-lived, meaning it is there for a short period of time. So dominant phase here is gametophyte, which will be like there for most of the time. Okay, then the spores will germinate. Once the spores are produced, the sporophyte it will degenerate. Okay, and after formation of the spores, there will be the it is present on female gametophyte. Okay, spores are again haploid. Haploid gametophyte is the dominant phase of the life cycle. Okay, if we see sporophyte structure here, see this all I have explained you, gamma cups and all. Okay, so if we see sporophyte structure, then the sporophyte is differentiated into three things: foot, seta, and capsule. Okay, see here in this diagram you can see this is the capsule, this is the seta, and this is the foot. Okay, so what will happen, the foot will allow the sporophyte to be held in the plant. Okay, and then through seta the nutrition will be given to the capsule. Okay, and in the capsule there will be formation of the spores. Okay, and then the spores will be released from there. Okay, yeah. And this sporophyte, where it will be present, it will be present on the female gametophyte, because the reproduction will take place over there. Okay, it will release spores also. Okay, then sporophyte, it is what? It is a sporophyte is the this structure. See here, sporophyte is the diploid structure. It is produced from male and female gamete. No, so N plus N, it will give a diploid structure. So it will give a diploid structure. Okay, then we come to example here is Markensia. Okay, then we come to then we come to mosses. Okay, Then we come to mosses. So if I talk about the characters of mosses, they prefer again moist and shady habitats. Then their body, the plant body is simple, and they have simple leaves, okay, which are covered with thin stems. Okay, here there are no flowers or seeds. They have root-like structures called as what? Rhizoids, which I had told you earlier. Okay, now what is unique about mosses? Here there is a predominant stage, okay, which is called as the gametophyte will show predominant stage of the life cycle of mosses. Okay, so first there will be, so earlier what was happening? First there was, if we see, first there was what? First there was fusion of the male and female gamete, then the zygote was produced, then there was spores, right? Sporophyte, and then there was spore. But here what will happen is there will be a protonema. Okay, there will be a, I will explain you here itself. There will be formation of the predominant stage of moss. So it will consist of two stages. There will be two stages here. Okay, protonema stage and the leafy stage. Okay, first this will be just like something green creeping structure. Okay, like small grasses you can say. So it will be a structure like that. Okay, and after that in the protonema stage it develops directly from the spores. So from the spores, so earlier what was happening, from the spores there was the formation of directly a new individual, right? But here it will not happen like that. From the spores there will be production of the protonema, and after that new there will be, this is green, creeping green like this. It will go from here, it will take a place. Okay, green, branched and frequently filamentous. Okay, sorry. So these are the examples of mosses. First is the funaria, okay, and the second is the sphagnum. I'll tell you about this. Okay, second is the leafy stage. Okay, second is the leafy stage. Now it will develop from the protonema, from the secondary, from the protonema, the secondary protonema will develop, and then here there will be upright slender axis with spirally arranged leaf. Then there are attached to soil by multicellular branch rhizoids, and they will have the sex organs. See here. Here these are the spirally arranged leaves, which is the leafy stage, and then there will be the what? The organs, the sex organs will be present on this. Okay, and then there will be fusion and a sporophyte will be produced. So here this is the leafy stage of the protonema. This is the leafy stage of protonema. Okay, after this, here only it will bear what it will bear? Male and female sex organs, and then there will be fusion here only, and a sporophyte will be produced. Okay, and a sporophyte will be produced here. Then yeah, we have discussed about this vegetative reproduction through fragmentation and budding. So what happens in budding is, on the plant body, parent plant body, there will be a small outgrowth or a bud. Okay, and with time this bud, it will take all the nutrition from the plant, from the parent plant body, and then once it is like ready to live on its own, it will detach from the main plant body, the parent plant body. Okay, then under sexual reproduction, the sex organs are produced at the apex of the leafy shoots, which I have showed you. Then there will be fertilization and zygote will be formed, and finally the sporophyte will be formed. Here the sporophyte will again consist of food, seta and capsule. And capsule, inside the capsule what will be there? The spores. And after meiosis there will be the formation of the new organism. Okay, so spores are different through special mechanisms here. Example of mosses are funaria, polytrichum and sphagnum. Now in sphagnum there will be archegonial branch and antheridial branch. There will be separate archegonial branch and antheridial branch. Okay, I hope you all have understood whatever I have taught today. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the video. This was it in today's video. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, like, share and subscribe to the Bodhi Academy. Thank you so much.